What up, what up, what up? I go by the name of Jabari. Words with Friends podcast is back. It's another Monday. And if you enjoy the podcast, if you like these conversations, if they start your work week off right, whether you're creative or whether you're in an office or whether you're creative in an office, you can be that as well. Support the podcast and give it a $1 tip. You can support it and ensure that it continues going. And you can do that at patreon.com, patreon.com/Jabari. And you can give as little as $1 per podcast. And what that does is ensure that we keep this thing going every single Monday for you guys. And yeah, thank you so much for those that have already supported it. And without further ado, this Monday we have Quinta B on the podcast. What's up?
What's up? Hey, Jabari. How are you?
I am good. Thank you for the coconut water.
No, no problem.
It's hot. It's hot out here in LA, man.
Gonna kick it off with me sounding bougie.
I got up this morning and I went for a run. And I went for a jog.
Oh, a jog.
Yeah. And like I have, when I run, because I had these like bootleg iPod headphones that fall out, I always wear like a wool hat to keep the headphones in. And so I try to run when it's cold outside. I try to run like in the morning, or I try to run like late at night, like when it starts getting cool. But it was just at the like breaking point of like hot and cold, like in the morning time. Yeah. So it was like getting towards hot. So I just got super hot this morning, and I think I was like dehydrated when I came here. So
no problem. You're welcome for the coconut water.
That was a long story about why I'm so appreciative of this coconut water.
They sell a cooling do-rag now. I saw it on I did. I saw it on TV last night. It's a work rag. We would call it a do-rag, and it cools you while you're doing whatever it is you're doing. You look like an ass, but it'll get the job done.
Wow. Okay, so Quinta, for the people that don't know, introduce yourself, what it is that you do.
Yes, my name is Quinta Brunson. I'm Quinta B for short. I'm a comedian. I do stand-up. I do improv comedy. And I also have a big series of Instagram videos that went viral that most people know me for. Either Instagram or YouTube. But they're called The Girl Who's Never Been on a Nice Date. And those series spawned off the ability to create a media platform. Right now, I just post funny videos on my Instagram and YouTube, and right now I'm living off of the internet's appreciation for comedy.
So when I first met you, I don't even think I knew you did comedy.
Yeah.
Did you even? Because was it the Macklemore?
Yeah, that's where we met.
That's where you came through. And yeah, I know you had told me that you knew a lot of the same people, mutual friends we had from Philly. But yeah, I had no idea that you did comedy until I just started seeing you on the internet. I was like, what?
A lot of people didn't, unless I'm a big fan of the stage, so I feel like there's no point in talking if you're not doing. So people normally didn't know unless they had seen me on stage or seen me on a show or something like that. But besides that, I didn't talk about it too much unless someone was really trying to get to know me. My good friends knew and my family knew. But I also was interested in other aspects of internet media. So I was always trying to explore and see what else was going on. Like when I came to your Macklemore screening, I was like, this is a cool thing, and he's completely using the internet as his platform. So that was always interesting to me. I was a communications major, so anything with communicating is interesting to me.
Yeah. What let's talk about The Girl Who Has Never Been on it's a Nice Date, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what spawned that? Why was it something that like you had experienced? And so it was like a reflective of your life, or, what was it?
Not necessarily my life as much as life in general. Every girl has a moment, no matter who you are, when the guy who you're with does something that's a generous offer, and you're like, oh, wow. And he got money is really like, oh, he's taking care of me. It's a very sweet thing, especially nowadays. Chivalry is kind of a mixed up thing because of the way that we are, women empowerment. But it's nice when a man is chivalrous. I think that's what it really comes down to. So it was based on like the way I think people think. They might not always say it, but that's how I feel like people think. And I played around with that character a lot between me and my friends. One day I did it on stage at the Comedy Store, and everyone loved it. So I just wanted to take that character and develop it a little bit more. Decided to put it online.
Now, question. Okay, so I think a lot of people, when they reference it, they always say he got money. So is that something that you looked at as like do you think you should have called it he got money?
No.
No? Okay. Why is that?
Catchphrases are a part of the character. And they build love for the character, or whatever the scene is, or whatever the movie is. They almost feel like inside jokes that you get to keep with everyone else. Other people call it he got money, but you know that's not the name of the series. It almost reminds me of like Anchorman. The movie wasn't called You Stay Classy, San Diego. It's called Anchorman, so it's a part of a bigger piece. And then there were other phrases that were taken from it, like don't be nasty. So that way people get to pick what their favorite thing is about that character and about the series.
Got you. So, okay, let's talk a little bit about, social media and comedy. Because that's, you mentioned that. And that's something that I've been seeing too, like over the past 2-3 years with a lot of these new apps and platforms. Comedy was always a big thing on the internet. Like even before YouTube, it was... People share things that make them laugh. It's just kind of natural. Like it's what we do.
Yeah.
If we're watching, there was like sites like Break Media or
Cracked.
Stuff like all kinds of stuff where like it was like those bootleg video players back in the day, and it was just like almost like America's funniest home video style clips.
That's like one of my favorite shows.
But like basically on the internet, and people are sharing those. And so like as time progressed, you get YouTube, you get some of these other now
Funny or
things
Die,
Funny or Die,
humor.
exactly, college humor, these things. But now, I think the new sort of movement and wave is like comedy in your pocket. You know what I mean? It's like Vine and Instagram has just turned into like hubs for comedy. So did you see that sort of trend coming, and did you want to just jump on board and like capitalize off it, or was it more of a just like let me do this and like this is what I have right now to put it on, so I'm gonna put it on this. So basically, was it strategic?
No.
You know what I mean? Okay.
No, not necessarily. I like to use my resources. So if I want to write something, a funny piece, I'll write on a blog about it, because that is my ability to connect with other people quickly. It's whatever resource I have at my fingertips, which I think people need to start realizing. Resources are right at your fingertips more than ever.
Yeah.
I think strategy is almost... strategy is hard to do when it comes to social media. You can do it. You can do it, but you're never going to get to that point if you don't just start using the resources at your fingertips. Just do it first. See what happens, because I was doing a lot of stuff before this. I had YouTube web series. I had written articles for comedic platforms and stuff like that, and helping other people with their web series. So I was always taking whatever I had. Instagram just happened to be the one that that worked for me. But so it wasn't strategy at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so tell me, like, let's go back to like how does one's Instagram pop off? You know what I mean? Like tell me like what that looks like. You know what I mean? Is it like from the beginning when you're just using it as like, hey, this is my friend's pictures, blah,
right?
blah, blah. And then to like when you put it up, and then like just give me the trajectory of it. All
right. Well, my Instagram, before that series, I think I might have posted like 2 videos that did really well. The followers I already had, which was only like 1,300 or something. Like they liked my stuff. I think what's important to get your stuff to pop off in a way is engagement. I think engagement is the best thing. People telling other people, tagging other people. In my situation, I was very fortunate. I had a friend, DJ Damage. He had posted it on his Instagram page. He had a lot of followers and added me. And
shout out to Damage.
Right? And that the video blew up from there. Blogs got a hold of it. That's it. But I can't say I wasn't leaving a trail of before that of a few videos that let people know, oh, she's able comedically. It wasn't a viral video. I think it's more so what are you going to do with the opportunity once you get it? Because then you can have a viral video. You can post a picture of a grandma getting punched and that's viral or whatever. Post a video of that. But what are you going to do after that to make that keep growing if you'd like it to keep growing? I think that's essentially what made, because as soon as the one video popped off, I put another video up to add on to that character, and then another one. So now people are coming to see what's going to happen next to this girl. I really love sitcoms. I love movies. I like people wanting to know what's going to happen next. So I think that's personally what built my Instagram page up.
Yeah. And so, you know, when do you say, okay, you know, this character is one thing, but I want to show them other things that I can do?
I think I said that immediately.
Okay,
Immediately. I put up another character as soon as all of that happened, and to see how it would go over, and people liked it. So after that, then I put up another character or another idea, and so I always slip them in there. I'm a big fan of variety shows and stuff like that. SNL, you may have your favorite character that keeps coming back, but you also now you have the opportunity to learn about different characters or laugh at something else. So I think immediately I had a girl, the sexiest girl in the club. I did her. And other very silly ideas. I had this character, Leslie Von Houten, who's teaching you how to be a lady, but she's very bad at it herself. Different stuff like that. As soon as I saw the opportunity, I did it because I was able.
Now, what are the ups and downs of being on a medium like Instagram, you know, and like showcasing your work on there? Because you know, a buddy of mine, I don't know if you know Phil and Anand from Madberry Club. I've had him on the podcast, and we were talking a lot about this, and you know, we were talking about basically the medium, sort of like what you're doing is the same, but the medium changes. You know what I mean? And like, you know, a lot of the stuff he's creating is for Instagram, but like his company creates sort of like branding and marketing efforts for companies like Nike and Native Shoes and just other people like that. But you know, they're creating it for the thing that the people are on right now. But I'm sure, you know, with that, there's, you know, social media is very fleeting, right? So like, you know, literally it's a matter of somebody like moving their thumb up and down and scrolling. So what are the pros and cons about having your work on, you know, this particular platform? And mind you, I know you're other places, but let's talk about Instagram for now.
One of the cons is I cannot get statistical information about my demographic. I would like to have that.
Do you use Iconosquare?
No, I don't.
Oh, I gotta put you on that.
You're always teaching somebody something on these podcasts. This is funny. I will. Thank you. I can do it on YouTube, which is good for me. And see what my demographic is, which I think is important. If you're in control of your own content, I think you do need to know your demographic.
Yes.
So I get a gauge of it because I pay attention to my Instagram page. I check and see who's following, who's commenting. And I can kind of tell, okay, I'm working from maybe like 17 to 35, which is wide, but it's the internet. So I have to sometimes focus on a particular demographic. The downside to that is, say I want to focus on women, ages 18, to 21. Then that video will gauge their attention, but my entire male following won't really pay attention to that, which means they won't share it, which means they won't tag their friends in it. I have to be okay with that video sitting there with 6,000 likes as opposed to, a He Got Money video, which is universal, having, like some crazy amount of likes, which on Instagram, I feel turns people off. If someone comes to your page and they see a decline in likes on one video or lesser
Really?
amount.
I don't think it matters. Really?
I think it does with the elite influencers. With the influencers, I think it matters, especially if they don't know what you do yet. So that's the thing. If someone's coming to your page and they don't really know about you yet, some people from that video they didn't know I was a comedian. They thought the video was real. So they come and they don't know what's going on yet. They're still trying to gauge it. I can't organize it. So that's the main con. I think I would love to be able to organize. Like, over here is the girl who's never been on a nice date.
Got you. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Over here, check
like
this
a
out.
YouTube playlist.
Exactly, but it's not for that, and I understand that. But that's a huge con. I think the pros are the pros are that Instagram's connected to Facebook. That's wonderful. I'm so blessed for that merger because
So explain to me why. Yeah.
People share directly to their Facebook pages from Instagram. That made it easy for Instagram to share beyond just in the Instagram app. So people will often just share it right to their Facebook. Now it immediately becomes a Facebook share. So when people are going to when they post it to their Facebook, now it's integrated in the Facebook system, so they can share the link through Facebook, which I just find to be extremely helpful. It's how people get a hold of these videos that I have no idea. They're like, I didn't even know it was an Instagram video.
Yeah, and it's just like a Facebook video playing in somebody's news feed.
Right.
Yeah.
Downside to that is I can't track that, but it's okay. I do believe in free content. Like, that's okay. You know about it. That's good. The pros, I guess, freedom of posting. I can just quickly shoot something and post it. That's really great. Sometimes YouTube, because it's longer, sometimes it feels like it needs to be a production. Yeah. Or sometimes you just don't feel like doing like a 3-minute video. 15 seconds sometimes is just enough for me. I find Vine to be a little bit more difficult for me. Okay.
And it's only a matter of That's only a matter of like 6 second difference.
Yeah, but I don't. Did I answer the question?
I mean, no, definitely. I mean, I think one thing that I think would be, cool for people like you is like definitely insights on like, how many people are watching.
That'd be really great because the likes don't even tell you how many people.
I mean, it doesn't tell you at all how many people clicked play. Yeah. I can, and I think that likes on Instagram, they're one thing, but it's just not really a good gauge of how many people are actually encountering that content. You know what I mean? Because I mean, some people are like, highbrow with their likes, and they're like, I'm not gonna like this unless it's 100%.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Other people like me just like everything.
You're totally right.
I don't know.
And people can repost my videos on Instagram. I also can't get a gauge of that. That'd be nice. It's okay. I don't have to. Yeah. But I can't get a gauge of that. The only way I can get it is by...
Oh, you mean like if somebody uses like a third-party app, like Insta Repost or something like that?
Like they'll do that and they'll repost the video. Yeah. I'll only be able to know if I go to the hashtag and then I can see that people reposted the video. So that's helpful. If someone's page is private, I don't know that they reposted the video. And that's why I had to get to the point where it's like, okay, it just doesn't matter. It's nice if they do share it. Instagram, kind of like YouTube, is about consistency. And I like to take my time. I really do like to take my time. I like to chill out. I like to go have some experiences. Yes. I'm doing stand-up. Stand-up requires dedication. Yes. So I have made the choice not to be 100% dedicated to posting a video every day or
because there are some comics and people out there like that. Like, they're just like, they're just very concerned with building that following. Yeah. And like, my thing with that is, well, a few things. So first of all, I completely wholeheartedly agree with you. I just wrote this on Facebook and Twitter the other day where, and I heard some iteration of this from someone else, but it was, you have to live life and go do experiences to create great art. Like you can't just be an artist sitting in your living room watching TV or watching other people or on your phone and looking at social media and expect to create great art because it's just going to be a copy of something else. You got to go and experience life, and
it loses its life. Like when you see it loses the life, and I think personally, I think that part of the reason why I am relatable is because of bringing life to these characters. So I don't want anything I do to lose that life because I'm too focused on, I gotta get a video up today or tomorrow, and nothing against the people that are able to do that. I'm not able to do that currently. So because of that, sometimes like I won't post for like a week, followers decline, and that sucks. But it's like
people will unfollow you because you haven't posted in a week.
not YouTube. I'm sorry. Instagram is just as much about consistency as YouTube is.
Really?
Just as much about consistency, or Twitter. It won't be a crazy amount, but I'll see the decline. People want to be entertained, and we live in an instant society, so people want to be entertained instantly.
Yeah. I'm just learning these are some classy folks.
It's just the way it is, you know? It's just the way our generation is. It's just the way our generation is. I don't know,
it's just people want the immediacy. They want their fix. They're like addicts. We are like addicts.
We're
everybody,
everything. I'm trying to
definitely
get away from it, but it is because think about it. When you were growing up, or say your parents, for instance, when they used to have to go find information, they'd have to go open up an encyclopedia. You know
Encyclopedia Britannica.
They'd have to go open that, go check it out of the library, go take it home, open it, search for it. What do? Google. Could you find?
You can literally talk into Google.
That's it. So if everyone's used to everything being instant, if they can't get it the way they want, then they go away. I'm not saying this in a bad light. That's just the way it is. I had to become comfortable with that.
And realize that, and then just adapt to it.
Exactly.
I feel it. I always I can't stand the people that look at the situation and they just complain. They're just like, this is how and this is why I'm not doing this. And it's like, man, you gotta just adapt. You know what I mean? You could either be complaining and like unhappy, or you could say, you know what, I'm going to still be true to my craft and be true to my art, but I'm just gonna shift and like be with the times, because if you don't, man, I don't know, you're gonna be that old person complaining.
Did you ever see the movie The Artist?
Hold on, damn, who was in that?
I can't remember the actor's name. That's terrible. Oh my God, he's huge. Check it out. I'm about to.
Go ahead.
But
we don't got no cameras, so nobody's gonna see you
Googling it. Let me see. Can you just cut to me saying? It's a good movie. It's about an artist that refused to move into. He's in the talkies, so it's back in the 30s. He's a star because all the movies are in the talkies, and then they start to add sound and color.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to move forward. Jean Desjardins, is that how you pronounce his name?
Did this movie, wasn't it like nominated for?
It won like everything.
I think I've heard of this movie.
It won everything. Or I think about it too. I think about it like when cars came around and everybody was still riding horses. Yeah. And somebody had to probably be like, that's witchcraft. I'm not doing that. I'll be riding horses forever. And their friends were just like, all right, dog, we'll catch you at the destination 2 days before you get there. So it's like eventually you're going to have to just understand that it is the way it is and move forward with the rest of the world. Yeah. It's not detrimental. It's the internet can be a very good thing if you use it the right way.
If you look at how fast things are, I mean, like when you talk about that encyclopedia stuff, it's like that was literally 25 years ago. I mean, and look at the shift in today, right? And then when you talk about something like transportation, right? Like people used to ride horses, literally like I think 200 years ago, something like that, maybe 150 years ago, people were riding horses. Yeah. So like, in terms of time and how fast things are evolving and what the culture that we're in right now, could you imagine what the next 20 years is?
That's what I'm saying. And this is the fastest revolution of all time. I don't think the Industrial Revolution took like 20 to 30 years. Yeah. This
is like the communications.
This thing, man, it's crazy. I used to work for Apple, and I'd leave work one day, I'd come in the next day, something had changed. Our entire software platform must change because YouTube updated. So if we don't update, we're behind. Yeah. So it's like it moves so fast that you can't you have no choice but to move with it, or
yeah.
You know, if people always complain about having to update their phones, and it's like, listen, it's not your phone's fault. It's technology.
Yeah.
It moves so fast, but yeah.
How has you know, moving to LA and being in this space, you know, enhanced your comedy? Because I know I talk to a lot of comedians now, like, and you know, traditional sort of like, you know, stand-up comedians like a Hannibal, and then more people who are doing it on like this independent internet, you know, grind, and it's just, it runs the gamut. But like a lot of people, you know, they have to come to like New York or LA to do comedy. What about LA has helped you out in this journey?
Opportunity and acceptance.
Acceptance by...
I want to do comedy for a living. You can't really say that in Philly, where I'm from. You can, but it helps to have other people in the mind state to be like, yeah, totally doable. Or theaters to be like, yeah, we just had 7 people leave this theater, and you know, they're on stage, or you know, they're on NBC. So the mind state. I wasn't doing the exact same type of comedy in Philly that I was doing here. I was doing improv a lot. And I was doing, I was on a sketch show called Temple Smash at my university, where we put together a sketch show. It was like Saturday Night Live. So I was doing it in a very channeled regard. It was in my school. People in my city didn't technically know that I did comedy. I never became like a stand-up comedian on stage in Philly. So I never had that experience doing stand-up in Philly at all. That wasn't until I got here. But the fact that there are open mics happening all over the place, you go to those open mics, you meet other comics who can tell you about another open mic, or if they can put you on a show, because then you form friendships, you have people around you who you trust. Same thing with building crews to help you out with your work. That was always hard for me in Philly. Most people had 9-to-5s, or actually the actual concept of them creating something on their own wasn't really there, because Philadelphia's not an entertainment town. I think that's where the benefit comes from moving to a place like New York or Los Angeles. People are in the same mind state as you and willing to help you with whatever it is you want to do. Because they see the possibility. So for me, moving to LA, that's what it's been. Having people around me who don't think I'm talking absolute crazy. And this stage, the ability to have stages everywhere. Like I said, I'm a big fan of the stage, so having a stage anywhere and knowing people will be there, or sometimes you could just be feeling like being on the stage and go to an open mic and put some stuff together. But those have been the biggest benefits for me.
Well, tell me like a little bit about, you know, this sort of like comedy crew and collective, and you know, because it seems like everybody in comedy, they have a crew of like, you know, people who are like in their circle, and sometimes you don't even know that these people are connected, but like, you know, it's like, this team of people who sort of, you know, work together, just like in any other business, you know what I mean, or any other endeavor.
I have people who I've become very close with because I perform with them. I watch them have to go through different emotions. They watch me have to go through different emotions. So it builds a trust and a friendship that is very important in comedy. For you to be able to see someone have an actual relationship on the screen, it's important. Acting is one thing. You know, you get 2 actors in a room who don't know each other. Yeah, they can say the lines, but they're not necessarily going to feel the love. And improvising with people is about being able to create a scene and a conversation off the spot. So that works better sometimes when you just have a relationship with someone you know already, and you know what kind of character they're going to come up with. But at the same time, you don't really know, and that's the surprise of it. At least you can trust the fact that you know this person a little bit. I personally think that's why comedians, like on film, tend to stick with a group of people who know them. It allows you the freedom to be who you are on the screen, which I think is so important about comedy. It's an honest craft. It's honest. It can be very pathetic sometimes. Everybody can't take that. Everybody can't take the patheticism. that is comedy. So it's important to have people around you who understand that. I improvise with some people now, and I love being on stage with them because I trust them. We can go to any stage, and I don't feel I don't feel like, oh, this might be a bad show. No, I trust these people 100%. They know me, I know them. And that's really important with stand-up. I've been going to open mics and meeting other comics who are amazing comics, and being able to watch them work is just incredible. So I think the community is just built up from me going to like open mics and going to see them perform and, you know, performing with them. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where it comes from.
You know, when you, I mean, like, I think we were talking about this at the barbecue the other day, but like, you know,
I had a cookout, y'all.
Yeah, it was good. When you're a comedian and like, you know, you're up there on stage, and I think I saw this in a Dave Chappelle interview recently. Like, did you see the one with him and?
Yeah, on late night.
On late night, yeah. It was like people always ask him, you know, what happens if you go up there and nobody laughs at your jokes, and he was just like, yeah, just nothing. Mm-hmm. You know, do you feel the same way? It's like.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
Technically. If I get in front of an audience and no one laughs, open mics are one thing. If I get in front of an audience and nobody laughs, it's a hard pill to swallow. Mm. It hurts right now, and I'm new, so you know, it hurts. I haven't even really had that happen to me yet, so I don't know what I do.
Yeah,
it'd be frustrating.
Well, you got to keep going.
Yeah. I haven't had it happen. Recently I had a show. I had the toughest crowd I ever had in my life. Mm-hmm. It was 80 people in there, all black. This is the first time that I've performed in front of an all black audience doing stand-up. Mm-hmm. And I was so scared. All the comedians before me were amazing, but I had a different type of humor from them. So I was a little bit afraid. I was like, man, I hope they're all right. Yeah. I wasn't telling too many, niggas and bitches jokes. Yeah. I didn't have any of those in my arsenal. So I was like, I'm going to have to just, pray and, whatever. But hardest crowd I had, and everything went well. Everything was real good. And, they received my brand of humor, which I like to think of as telling. I like to make people think about things.
Yeah, how would you describe it? Yeah.
I like to make people think.
So it's one of those jokes where, you hear the joke, you wait for a second, and then you hit it. It hits you later?
Some of them, yeah. Okay, of them, yeah. I like that kind of humor a lot. Or once again, I'm still like learning my voice when it comes to stand-up. But I almost like to say things that they're not going to expect. So not very observational, but more so how I'm actually feeling on the inside and how you're probably feeling too. That's usually what I want to get to.
Okay. That's kind of like Louis C.K., right?
Because he's one of my favorites, yeah.
Because, like you said, a lot of other comedy is very observational. It's like, don't you hate when this happens when you're in the store and somebody says this to you? And then it's like an observation of what is going on around.
Right, which is still funny.
Yeah, which is very funny. But I feel like what Louis does is he'll say what most people are thinking, and sometimes it's super dark. Yeah. And sometimes it's very whoa, you just said that. That's ludicrous. But
I think the humor in that comes from people being like, I think like that too, and then being like, that's exactly how I think. That's hilarious, and I think that's so fun to play around with, especially because I'm a girl, because I'm black, and because I don't feel restrained by either of those things. Yeah. So I think it's so fun to play around and make people come out of their shells in the audience even a little bit. Sometimes they're like, they can't even whoa, she said that. I was thinking that. That's what I wanted to do.
Nice. Nice. So now, what are you looking to do? Like, what is the progression? Yeah, exactly.
I am looking to create longer forms of content. Mm-hmm. That's one of the main things I'm doing. I just hooked up a distribution deal with collegehumor.com, so I'll be creating like maybe 3-minute pieces for that website. And that's important to me. I would eventually like to see myself lending my voice, writing for television, for 22-minute series, for film. So part of that is being able to create longer pieces of work and having them withstand. So that's what I'm working on now. I've been doing it on my YouTube a little bit. I have a series called What Do You Do? That's amazing. And that's when I just interview people on the street. No matter what their profession is, it's an amazing profession. We need it. So I talk to people like that. I've done interviews. I've done interviewing, and I love doing that. So I just want to make sure that that's being shown as well, because I'd be just as happy to get a job doing that. Yeah. So that, putting on some shows right now to be able to give both myself and the amazing comics I know some exposure to some actual audiences, like some people who some people have never seen stand-up live before. They've never seen live comedians on the come up, so to speak. Yeah. And especially like my followers, like they're comfortable with the internet and they're comfortable with the videos, but I want people to see the ability of writing out stand up or performing stand up on the spot. So I'm throwing a big show on the 27th. At Sal's Comedy Hall.
Out here?
Yeah. You want to be here?
I'm going to be in New York for my party. And it's literally on the 27th.
Amateur hour. Yeah. All right.
Oh, man.
Well, everyone else, the 27th.
Yes, 27th.
At Sal's Comedy Hall, and it's at 8 o'clock, and this brand Animal House is sponsoring it. So it's going to be really fun. They're giving out, like, fun gift bags and stuff like that.
Shout out to Animal House.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I'm also taking advantage of the fact that I'm young, and I just want all the young people to not lose touch with the art of like live performance.
Oh yeah, it's so important. It's so important. Yeah.
So I'm taking advantage of that, trying to get my like young people out to that kind of a thing. We have like Jabari Neighbors, who's amazing. I don't know if you hilarious, ridiculously hilarious. This other comedian, Tony Hinchcliffe, also he's like helped write the Comedy Central roast battles and everything. Regular at the Comedy Store. We have another, Melissa Villasenor. She was on America's Got Talent last year. She was like the top comic. Huge YouTube following, but an amazing comic to watch. And that's what I've wanted to bring to these shows. People who are just good to watch and entertaining. So I'm working on that too.
Nice.
I'm using my my following to help the people around me, and also make sure they experience some other things the following. So yeah.
Wow, you're such a good person.
Thank you.
Some people use this stuff for evil.
Isn't it terrible? I think the internet is like the Tesseract. I don't know if anybody is as much as a Marvel geek as I am out there, but there's this box of energy called the Tesseract, and all the villains try to, it's nothing but raw energy, raw power. So it's something that like all the heroes try to get and use in a good way. Like Iron Man's like, oh, we can make clean energy. Okay. And then like everyone else evil is like, no, I can use it to rule the world and make everyone my slaves. So that's the internet. And it's like, you have to choose which way you want to go.
Which side are you on? Are you with the good guys or the bad guys?
Yeah. I mean, just fall somewhere in the middle, but try to be on the, the good side. Nice. It's hard.
Well, Quinta, I am definitely going to be in tune, and I got to get to one of your shows, man, when I'm here for sure. So keep me posted about the next one.
I will. I will.
Cool.
And all you people too.
Yes. All you guys. Is there anywhere where they can go get tickets or RSVP or what?
For the show on the 27th, the name of the show is the Zoo Comedy Show. You can go to zoocomedy.splashthat.com.
Splash that.
Isn't it great? Jabari helped me get in tune with Splash That. But Zoo Comedy zoocomedy.splashthat.com. If you RSVP, your ticket's going to be $5.
Awesome.
So that's nothing. And there's food and drinks there and everything. It'll be great. You guys, please come in. You're going to get free gifts. And
spend that $5.
Yeah, it's so just, enjoy yourselves. Come. I have like a bunch of other shows this month. I perform regularly at iOS. That's a big theater here in Hollywood. That's an improv show, so I have a show there. That's tomorrow. So I think by the time this airs, they won't. Okay. But just I have a website coming soon. It's being designed right now. Okay. So that'll be up by the end of the month, where you'll be able to find.
Make sure you have an email capture on there.
Oh my God, can't swear by email. I'll get an email system, Jabari.
I'll help you with it. There we go. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. Another Words with Friends. Awesome. let's see, what do I have coming up? If you're in New York City, June 27th, which is the same day as Quinta's show in Los Angeles, come to Colors. Go to nyc.mycolorsparty.com. Man, Rage Fest Central, and this one is free. This one's on the house, so just RSVP. Yeah, it's going to be nuts.
Never been to Colors, but I've been to Surprise Party. So yeah, you know, they throw ragers, guys.
Yeah, you know. So, okay, thank you guys so much for listening. Like I said, if you enjoyed the podcast, support it with a $1 tip at patreon.com/Jabari, and I will link you guys to all of Quinta's social networks and everything in the show notes. All right, thank you for listening.
Bye,
Peace.
guys.